Hello, I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier, and welcome to Kaleidoscope, your guide to the arts in Harford County. The arts unify communities, and here on Kaleidoscope, we keep you up to date on the county art scene, highlighting local artists and organizers who are working to bring all of us together, making Harford County a better place to live and thrive. So, let's get started. AfroActive utilizes African dance to enlighten and entertain while offering its participants a high-energy workout. Joining me to tell us how this unique organization celebrates the power of dance with people from all walks of life is Amanda Mabina Ampofo-Williams, founder of AfroActive. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Did I do okay with your name?
Yes, you did great. I'm very impressed.
It's a gorgeous name, and you told me before coming on air what Mabina
means. Right. So in the Ghanaian culture, the day you're born, whether you're a woman or a male, or a woman or a man, you have a specific day you're born and a specific name. So because I was born on a Tuesday and I'm a woman, my name is Mabina.
Okay.
Right. So if it was a man, his name would be Kwabna, born on a Tuesday.
Interesting. Now I was born on a Friday. What does that make me?
You're Ifya.
Okay.
Ifya means born on a Friday.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're here to talk more about than just about this beautiful name of yours, this Ghanaian name. We're here to talk about something you started called AfroActive.
Yes.
So before we talk about why you started, tell me what AfroActive is.
So AfroActive is a very energetic, vibrant African dancing event, all right? So it's just me. So I teach African dance from not just West Africa, but I'm doing East Africa, South Africa, and North Africa.
So it's all different.
It's all different. And my goal is to activate educationally, and we're moving and we're learning. And so that's why I started it.
Oh, I think it's great. Okay, so you started that. Now you moved to Harford County from Silver Spring.
Correct.
So there was a lot going on in Silver Spring, right?
Yeah, very much so. And then moving here was like a culture shock, right? Like you're seeing farms and cows, and I'm like, what's happening here? And I remember a quote Maya Angelou said, if you don't like something, you change it. And if you can't change it, change your attitude about it. So that's what I did in March 2020, before the pandemic. I started AfroActive.
Yeah, and I think it's been very well received, but of course things get to slow down a little bit over COVID, right?
For sure.
I mean, this is what happened.
For sure, unfortunately. So we had our first class the first week of March, and a week later we were told to shut down. And it broke my heart to see that, but we had to move to the virtual life. And it's not the same, but we made it work. I made it work.
Yeah, you did. Okay, so tell me a little bit. I was asking you, what kind of dance is AfroActive? Can you give a kind of a description of it?
Yeah, sure. So I use Afrobeat music. So it's very high energy. It's more an upbeat kind of music. We use some slow music as well when we're doing when we're cooling down as well.
Yeah,
right.
Because I guess you get really pretty energized, as you said. Your heartbeat's going fast.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great workout.
Yes, a lot of movement, hands throwing, moving your body that you probably not moved in quite a long time. And I always tell my people, if you get sore tomorrow, don't call me, but of course we stretch and we do our warm-up. So
yeah. So, for example, it might be great. Let's say I'm having an event and I want to invite friends, and we want to do something that's fun, that we can participate in, but also that is entertaining, something that we can watch. So you would come to my house,
correct,
let's say, and then you would first perform for us, correct?
Yes, yeah. I will perform for you all, and then I'll teach you guys a little bit of something, right? So a little bit on why we move our hands this way. What does this mean, the history about it. And then we play some music, and then we're all dancing what I've taught you. Like we're all incorporating it together.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
And then not only do you talk about the different dance styles of Africa, but you are supporting a lot of Ghanaian small businesses by and educating the people you are entertaining by bringing some different items for them to possibly look at and even purchase for themselves.
Yes. So during an AfroActive event, not only are you there to dance and learn, but I also sell merchandises, right? So fabric fans, and I use these when we're dancing. So as you're dancing, we're using the fans. I also sell intuma to wrap your body with. I sell hats and jewelry just to make the room vibrant, right? So it's more tangible and you feel connected connected, you know, with the African.
So you're immersing everyone in this wonderful culture.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Now you have some events coming up. Despite COVID, things
Correct.
are picking up, right? Yay.
It is. Yes.
So I know you have an event on, I think on May 7th. Is that right?
May 7th.
Tell me about that.
And it's LASSO, that's the organization, and it's going to be I'm not sure if it's indoor or outdoor. We're still trying to figure out because of the weather. But my role is just going to be dancing and educating as well. I'll be selling my merchandise there as well, and people are going to be, you will have the opportunity to participate.
Yeah, okay, now we've put up your email address, your website. You do have a website, but
Correct.
it's a little long for our for
I'm working
our monitors.
on that.
So
yes.
So people can contact you directly, and then you'll get in touch with them and direct them to the website.
Absolutely, yes. And I also have an Instagram called AfroActive _ so you can follow me for more information on there.
And you've performed at other places for what, at colleges?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about some of the things you've been able to do despite COVID.
So I've been able to perform at UMBC for their African diaspora event. I've also done Hartford Community College here. I've done health fairs, churches. So wherever you need me, I'll be able to make it.
So, you know, these are kind of tough times right now, even despite COVID somewhat being, at least we're seemingly managing it now. There's a lot going on in the world. It's just, what do you think dance does for people, and being able to just kind of get lost in that rhythm and movement? Tell me about it.
So it all started as a hobby, right? And it was for me it was my meditation. Some people like to do yoga. Some people like to cook, right? To release some form of stress. And I think AfroActive, or my organization, is not one to just release stress, but also one to gain good energy, you know, to feel vibrant, feel strong. Again, we're moving our bodies, and you're listening to music that you've never heard before. All this, your body's taking that in and making you feel powerful, you know? So that's one thing that I really appreciate about that.
And what's been the response from people? I'm sure, you know, are some people kind of reluctant at first, or people embrace it right away?
So we get one of those when they start, right? They're like, oh, I don't know if my body can do this, right? But my thing is, you can't knock if you haven't tried it, right? So you have to try it. Your body doesn't know that. You've never done it before, so do it and then see how your body takes it, you know? But I get great responses. You have to have a YouTube channel and all these wonderful feedback. So it's great and it's encouraging to hear.
Well, it is. And again, I love that there are dances for different parts of Africa, too. They're different, and you know all of those.
Yes. And I'm still learning. So I'm not an expert. I'm very open-minded, right? So my whole goal is to learn and teach. So that's my goal.
It's a great goal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And again, your event is May 7th. We encourage people to go to your email address, get in touch with you, and take it from there and start moving, right?
Thank you. Yes.
All right, thanks. All right, the Rogue Swan Theater Company is a performing arts troupe that strives to put a unique spin on everything they do. With a full band and compelling characters, they've become known for creating modern vaudeville with singing, dancing, and drama all combined into one fast-paced, entertaining show. We recently stopped by during rehearsal for a sneak peek of their latest production. So come on, let's dim the lights and get ready to be entertained as we shine a light on Rogue Swan Theater Company.
What would make us different is that we do have a recurring theme. We constantly have, most vaudevilles do not have a storyline. Vaudevilles are, each group comes on, they do their part, they leave, they do their part, they leave, but we have created this immersive story that makes people actually care about our cast members. You know, I have had people literally say, you know, oh, it broke my heart when, you know, Caleb was hurt, or this was hurt, or my tattooed man, or my this. So they really do find their favorite person, I think, and sort of follow their path. You won't find vaudevilles that actually have a storyline. It's usually like a mix, almost like a variety show, but that is not what we've created at all. So vaudeville intrigues me because if you look back in history, it's really an assortment of different theatrical works, music, acrobats, dancers, everyone that brought all of their different talents, no matter how different they were, onto the stage to create a living experience for the audience. And so many boundaries, both gender-wise, sexuality-wise, dealing with races, were pushed because of the vaudeville stage. So for us, that was really something that intrigued us because we all come from such different backgrounds. Symphony orchestra, we have every diversity, yet when we all come on stage, it just clicks and makes this amazing experience that we hope the audience feels a part of. And that has always been a #1 goal for us, is that the audience is having fun with us. We are at the amazing Concord Point Coffee House in Havre de Grace, and Carl, who is the owner, has been just an amazing supporter of us. So the process is interesting because it really becomes me keeping on my phone list of songs that just move me since I'm the choreographer. So I start writing songs that move me and songs that I really feel tell a story, or if I hear songs throughout the time that we're looking at that remind me of different vocalists in our group. And then Lily, my partner in crime, and I start developing the storyline.
We spend usually the first month, Katie, our choreographer, teaches all of the dance numbers. We have one rehearsal scheduled for each dance, and then we rotate again. But once you get to 3 weeks before a show, you really need to be looking at cleanup at this point. Everyone knows the dance, so it is all about taking pauses and looking at sections of the song to make sure that everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. And that way, if there's anything that does need to be cleaned up, any choreography pieces that do need to be changed, they have the ability to do that now with Katie watching.
At our rehearsal today, we have about 3.5 weeks until the show. So this is a night that we call cleanup, where I'm taking dances, I'm ripping them apart, I'm saying, you know what, let's add a head here, let's do this here, let's do this, that's not working, we're gonna change this. What I'm looking for is, are the steps clean? Are they telling the story I want them to tell? And is everyone's face exactly the way I want it? Because honestly, as a choreographer, I can deal with a messed up step, whatever. Who cares if it's a messed up step? If you do it with passion, I'm all about it. So I want to see character, 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 because that's what people care about. What I care about is that they are living in the moment, because that's what brings people in. Your crowd knows by now every cause to doubt in my head. To be back on stage after a 2-year hiatus, #1, we kept going. We have an entire socially distanced video series on YouTube. So we were busy during the year, probably more busy than we should have been because we were worn out. But to come back on stage, the first rehearsal we had when I had all my dancers in the one room, it's just, oh my God, it was overwhelming because we're a troupe, because we're always the same faces. They truly are family. And it was just overwhelming. Sorry. It was. I'm sure. Don't show that.
Look for a special Shine a Light feature during every Kaleidoscope program. When we return, Amanda Morell from Maryland Citizens for the Arts will be here with information on the Maryland Arts Summit coming this summer. Stay tuned. The 6th annual Upper Bay Juneteenth Festival, hosted by the Hosanna School Museum, will feature a day of edutainment for the whole family, highlighted by the Transition to Freedom concert, the African American Experience Through Music. The event also includes food, vendors, dance performances, puppet show, genealogy workshop, horseback riding with the Buffalo Soldiers, and shuttle buses for easy parking. Tickets are $18.65 in advance and $20 at the door. Children under 12 are free. Volunteers and sponsors are invited to support this regional effort. Since its debut in 2019, it's quickly become one of the most highly anticipated events for Maryland arts community, the Maryland Arts Summit. With me on the program to talk about this year's event and why you will want and need to be there is Amanda Morrell, Program Manager for Maryland Citizens for the Arts. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
I know about the Arts Summit, but I think there may be some of our viewers who don't. But before we even talk about this, let's talk about the Maryland Citizens for the Arts, otherwise known as MCA. Tell me a little bit about the organization.
Sure, we're a statewide advocacy organization. So in advocacy, it's a lot of education. So we educate both the community on the importance of public funding for the arts, which is funded through the Maryland State Arts Council. And we also educate lawmakers on why it's so important to have that public funding and that support from the state.
Yeah. So now you have 3 major events a year, basically. I mean, you're working all year round. I want to make that clear. But you have 3 major events. We're going to talk about all of them, but let's first focus on the one that's coming up shortly. Tell us about the summit.
So the Maryland Arts Summit came out of, we saw a need for more networking and for people to have a place to share both their art, their practicing art, and their arts programming. So we, as a collaborative effort, the Maryland Citizens for the Arts, the Maryland State Arts Council, the Department of Education, Fine Arts Office, and Arts Education in Maryland Schools came together to program a conference.
Oh, wow.
We also wanted to, we realized in our experience, I'm speaking using that a lot of times when you present at a conference, there's either a small stipend or the stipend is covering the registration fee, right? So we really wanted to make sure that we put forth an effort to find the money to pay presenters, to pay performers. There's a marketplace, an artist bazaar, where people can showcase, again, their art and sell their wares.
Right.
And for that, we don't charge for someone to have a table. There are plenty of craft fairs and art shows where the fees are quite high, and we wanted to make sure that if we were bringing the sector together, we wanted everyone to have the most opportunity to get the most out of it, both for making money and for networking and gathering together.
Right. Now let's talk about the basic facts of the summit. It is going to be held in June.
Absolutely, June 9th and 10th.
Okay.
At UMBC. They were gracious enough to host us the first year that we did this in person. The last couple of years we've been
virtual.
We've been virtual.
Yeah.
And they were more than happy to have us back again. Their team is wonderful.
Well, it's a beautiful facility.
Absolutely.
I mean, just gorgeous, different dance spaces, recital halls, all of that, and then places again for artists to display their wares. And this isn't just, so you're going to have artists there, you're going to have arts administrators, but also the general public, people who love the arts, can come as well, correct?
Absolutely. So the Arts Summit is for arts educators, for advocates, for art lovers, enthusiasts, everyone really in the arts community in Maryland. Which we're administrators, we're also practicing artists.
Yeah, it's a fun bunch. I mean, it's a fun 2 days.
It's a fun 2 days.
And you learn a lot and you make a lot of good connections.
Absolutely.
So for the whole schedule of events, there's too many to talk about right now. You can go online to your website, correct? You can register there as well?
Yes, so we'll be, registration is on the page. There'll be a full schedule, information about presenters, and we plan to have a packed schedule.
And it will be.
Lunch will not just be lunch. Lunch will have alternatives, time for networking, and we're planning on having a podcast recording,
wow.
during.
Terrific.
So really finding ways to have people creatively share their story. So it's
Well,
not just.
you are creative folks, so I expect nothing less. Okay, so that's great. And if you want to register, if money's an issue, there are some scholarships.
There are
help as well.
scholarships available,
Okay.
And we don't like to turn people away.
Okay.
So we have quite a few scholarships available. So if you want to come, we want to make sure that we can make that happen.
Okay, so this whole Art Summit actually was inspired by something that was a little smaller, which was the Arts Lab. Can you tell me quickly about that?
Absolutely. So Arts Lab is it's a fall symposium. It's a much smaller event, usually around 125. With
I've attended one of those, yes.
Between attendees, performers, and presenters. And it really was more of a workshop type day. We'd open the day with a keynote and performance, and then we'd break out into groups. And the last couple of years have been virtual. But before that, my first couple of years with MCA, we kind of kept people together in a pod, and they traveled to each of the sessions throughout the day. And of course, there's food. We always feed people.
I
right?
can attest.
Breakfast
The
and
food is
lunch.
the food is very good. And then I guess some folks, your colleague Nicholas Cohen calls it the signature event. I know you think all three are signature events. Tell us about all the advocacy work you do, not only year round, but that very important day, which is Maryland Arts Day.
Sure, Maryland Arts Day. We in the before times, we had between 500 and 600 advocates. Again, those arts educators. And
I was there. I'm always there every
Always
February.
there.
Yeah.
We go down to Annapolis, and we, again, very much so, we educate everyone on what the ask is for the, and it's usually the appropriation for the State Arts Council that we ask the General Assembly to support every year.
Yeah.
And we then have time to have our lawmakers come to us, and many counties, for any lawmakers that are tied up in meetings or any hearings, they put packets together, and they will go to the offices and deliver, information. And again, it's that important, why it's important to have public funding.
Yeah, and it's important. And this year, just in the little time we have left, this year you've done very well. It's been a tough 2 years for the arts.
It has been.
But you've gotten some great support from the state.
We've been very fortunate to have continued funding, and our funding has actually grown the last couple of years, despite being in a pandemic.
Okay, so you have what, $28.8 million?
$28.8 million for the State Arts Council, and that's for general operating grants and grants for teaching artists and arts education programs, folk and traditional arts. Funding arts and entertainment districts.
Right. Yeah, and
then
then
go on and on.
And then we'll just add quickly before we sign off, $50 million in relief funding as well.
In relief and recovery funds.
Okay.
And $40 million of that will go to the State Arts Council, and $10 million of that will go to tourism. But they're all dollars that arts organizations and artists can apply for.
Well, Amanda, you're doing great work on behalf of all of us here in Harford County, and keeping the arts alive and vibrant, and helping out artists, and just making those important creative connections. So we thank you for being here. Again, the summit is on June 9th and 10th.
Absolutely.
People can go online, they can find out all kinds of information, be a really active part of the arts community. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, there's more to come on Kaleidoscope, so don't go away. We will be right back. The Ed Lally Foundation, in partnership with the Office on Mental Health, invites you to the free community screening of The Power of Expression documentary on Saturday, May 7th at Shamrock Park. There will be live music from Big Infinite, food trucks, and vendors. All are welcome, and sponsors are invited to support this important event. Maryland State Arts Council presents the Maryland Regional Virtual Exhibition Series showcasing multidisciplinary artists from all 5 regions of Maryland. Series 3, Central Maryland, is on view now through May 13th and includes 9 artists from Harford County. Visit the homepage of culturalartsboard.org for a link to the online exhibit. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. As the government-appointed local arts agency, the Harford County Cultural Arts Board is the primary local resource for arts organizations, for artists, and for you, our county residents. The board's mission is to preserve, enhance, and promote the culture of Harford County, Maryland. Last year, the Harford County Cultural Arts Board invested more than $223,000 in Harford County's creative community. Their keystone program is the Community Arts Development Grant. This program provides general operating support to local arts nonprofit organizations and arts programming support to nonprofits whose primary purpose is other than producing or presenting the arts. Colleges, universities, units of government, and religious organizations may also apply for arts programming support. Applications are now being accepted for fiscal year 23. The deadline to apply, Wednesday, May 11th, so don't wait. Go to theculturalartsboard.org for more information. And that wraps up today's program. Thank you for watching Kaleidoscope, produced in partnership with the Cultural Arts Board of Harford County and aired exclusively on Harford TV. We hope you'll continue to tune in to Harford County's Arts Connection. For Kaleidoscope, I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier.